Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm finally back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. First of all, before anything else, I do want to extend a formal apology to all of you, and that's mainly because I haven't been posting very frequently on YouTube ever since I competed at Worlds. The main reason for that is obviously me moving into college across the country and basically starting a new life here. And before anything else, I wanted to get acclimated, to social and academic life. And that combined with technological issues and some stuff going on in my life has resulted in me not uploading nearly as frequently as I would have liked to. But I'm hoping to really start changing that now. I want to take YouTube more seriously. I've been able to find that balance between school, Pokemon, YouTube, and whatnot. So I'll do my best moving on forward to bring you guys daily content once again. So just trying to get Road to Rank back to where it was before in terms of daily uploads, and then gonna branch off and work on some new stuff. In addition, the team analysis for this team will be coming out on Monday afternoon, so keep your eyes open for that, so you'll be able to check that out. This is going to be the final episode with this team as we move on to a brand new team in tomorrow's episode. So just wanted to say sorry and to thank all of you guys who continue to watch my videos and support them regardless of how frequently I post them. Anyway, we're just going to jump onto the ladder and see what we can find in our last two games with this team. It's been a really fun run for sure, but I'm looking forward to building some new teams. Quite honestly, you know, this VGC metagame, I'm wondering really how much it has left, especially since the rules will probably change in January 1st. But we're going to find a 1640 rated player from Japan for our first opponent of the day. And as always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share your support by leaving a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. So anyway, I guess this isn't really VGC 2015 Road to Rank since my opponent's team has a Magmar. And obviously, as you guys know right now, Battle Spot isn't just VGC 15 rules. You're allowed to bring older Pokemon. So a Magmar here actually often used for Follow Me. Both Wolfie, Glick, and Sejong Park, two of the world's most famous Pokemon players, used it at the 2013 World Championships with pretty similar sets. Wolfie finished 3-3, and Sejong made it to a top 8 before losing to Ryosuke Kosuge. So, you know, not going to be an actual VGC 15 match here, but should still be a fun one. Magmar, not the Pokemon obviously you ever see in nowadays metagame, but Sylveon here can actually be really helpful since after getting a Calm Mind up, it can just Hyper Voice away, and my opponent doesn't have great answers to Hyper Voice. So I actually really like leading with Salamence and Sylveon. Definitely want Ferrothorn in the back for the Gastrodon and the Landorus, and the Sylveon and the Kang, honestly. For the last one, it's between Blaziken and Swampert. You know, Blaziken here is kind of tempting because of its ability to one-hit KO 3 of my opponent's Pokemon, but then redirection from Magmar is kind of a big deal. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Swampert. Gonna lock in, and we're gonna see how this battle against the Magmar goes. So, like I mentioned, you know, you won't run into any Magmars in normal VGC 2015 because Follow Me is a move from Pokemon XD, so it's super difficult to actually get a legit one with good IVs and whatnot. But Magmar makes its appearance right away as we see Magmar and Landorus against the Salamence and the Sylveon. So get the Intimidate off first, meaning that my opponent's Landorus is not going to be Choice Scarf. Of course, Landorus, so common in the VGC format, often carrying Choice Scarf, Choice Band, Assault Vest, Light Orb, even Focus Sash, and we've seen a lot of different ones make an appearance at the World Championships. So with the Intimidate, I actually want to just switch out into Swampert here, and obviously put some pressure against Magmar and get a Calm Mind up immediately. This way I'll be able to reshuffle the Intimidate in case Kangaskhan makes an appearance once again. So, should be a relatively safe turn 1 here for me. We do see the knockoff actually come out onto the Sylveon, so nice play by my opponent there. Unfortunately, actually does get rid of my Chesto Berry, which is kind of integral to the Calm Mind setup. Will-O-Wisp comes out, does target down the Salamence slot, so I'm glad I did not get that physical type attacker burned. Sylveon here does set up its first Calm Mind. So, as I mentioned, you know, clearly Magmar and Landorus, it doesn't look like they have very much offensive presence against either of my Pokemon, which is perhaps the most important thing for me, but unfortunately, by losing the Chesto Berry, I won't be able to, you know, use that trick earlier or later on in the match. So I wonder if Magmar's going to protect here. I could get greedy and go for another Calm Mind. But I think it might just be time to start attacking. And I'm actually going to Scald and Hyper Voice, since I think it's highly likely that he switches out Landorus right now, as he does. But Gastrodon might have come in. I should have thought about that. Nope, it's going to be Sylveon. Okay, that's fine with me. Does Magmar protect? Does he attack? He just goes for the Will-O-Wisp. Okay. So I'm okay with that, though could have put in some mileage there against the Magmar with a Scald. But I get the Hyper Voice here. You see how bulky both of my opponent's Pokemon are. Swampert here, however, does get the Scald off. Does decent damage against the Sylveon. Doesn't get the burn, unfortunately, but I'll take that. But the Magmar being able to spread Will-O-Wisp here is actually going a long way. This residual damage is quickly adding up. And let's see, I mean, we might just see a Hyper Voice protect. But I guess I'll just Scald Hyper Voice here in case Magmar doesn't carry Protect. Oh, he doesn't go for it. He just goes for the Overheat. Okay. So hasn't actually even used Follow Me yet. But Sylveon with that Calm Mind boost takes that like a champion. Let's see which Sylveon's faster between ours. Gonna be my opponent, so it's gonna be able to get this Hyper Voice off. Doesn't knock out either of my Pokemon. I get the Hyper Voice off and knocks out the Sylveon. Let's see if Magmar will be able to hang on here. Presumably so, but we'll see. Swampert gets the Scald off and... oh, just misses up the knockout. So Earth Power might have actually been the better call there. I believe Earth Power has higher base power if I recall correctly, but I was thinking maybe if my opponent's Sylveon's strong enough, it'll knock me into Torrent range, I'll be able to pick up the knockout, but that's kind of a silly play in the long run, or looking back at it. So Landorus comes back out. So Magmar's revealed Will-O-Wisp and Overheat, presumably Follow Me. Here's the thing, I don't think my opponent can knock out Swampert. What do you do for my opponent here? I mean, he can knock off Swampert for sure. I guess we'll just Hyper Voice. And Ice Beam Landorus. Yeah. We'll see if my opponent can knock out both of my Pokemon. Okay, so Magmar does actually protect Earthquake. Yeah, that's also a thing. I could have switched out into Salamence there then. That would have been such a good play. And then Swampert might have been able to take the EQ, but now it should not be able to survive that. Yeah, as I go down. It's been a tricky battle for sure. But the nice thing here is I do get a free switch into my Salamence and my Ferrothorn, and Salamence should be able to outspeed the Magmar, so I can just Double Edge into that slot and Gyro Ball the Landorus slot. Or Leech Seed it, actually. And with Magmar having protected last turn, you know, it's forced to basically protect here again. Or not protected, it's forced to attack, so Salamence should be able to outspeed and just pick up the knockout. So presumably this is Follow Me Magmar, but actually hasn't even used Follow Me yet, so I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm going to go for the Gyro Ball here, and the reason why I'm not going for the Leech Seed is because of the fact that if my opponent's last Pokemon is Kangaskhan, as wow, Magmar switches out. That was not what I was anticipating. Into a Kangaskhan, okay. That's an interesting switch. Especially because Landorus can reshuffle the Intimidate, but let's see what my opponent goes for, especially since Landorus is at -1 right now. So I just get this free Double Edge off against the Kangaskhan. Is it enough to knock it out? Picks up the one-hit KO, that's why I use Max Attack Mens, man. So I guess if Landorus has the Stone Edge here. No Stone Edge! Okay, so goes for the Rock Slide. Should have knocked out Salamence at -1. Yeah, Salamence takes that like a champion. Do I flinch with Ferrothorn? Yeah, I do flinch here. But that's actually a little bit unfortunate. This is really... okay, so the reason why that's unfortunate is because if I didn't flinch there, I would have gotten the Gyro Ball off. I mean, I guess I would have had to avoid 2 flinches. This is where Hyper Voice would have been really handy. But I'm going to double protect here and see what he goes for. And obviously the tricky thing here is this Magmar protect, because obviously I want to just double edge into it. If I double edge into the protect, actually now that I think about it, I should win regardless, because Rock Slide will knock me out. But he actually just protects with Magmar there, so I should be good. So I protected there just to scout out what the Landorus is going to go for. Probably the Rock Slide, yeah. And so what my opponent was hoping for is that I double edged right into it. So now he has to get a double protect, and Rock Slide has the critical hit. So odds are definitely looking in my favor right now. As I'll just go for the double edge here onto it. But he gets the double. Okay. Rock Slide comes out. Shouldn't knock out Mens. Doesn't get a critical hit. No critical hit. Okay. Does he flinch Ferrothorn? No flinch on Ferrothorn either. So, let's see if the Magmar can get a triple protect. I wonder if my opponent's even going to go for it, because I could actually just double edge Landorus. But if I double edge Landorus... actually, yeah. Wait, let's think this through. Double edge Landorus, knock that out, and just Gyro Ball. Because, yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to double edge Gyro Ball here. Oh, he doesn't go for the double, though. Okay. But I shouldn't take enough recoil to faint from the double edge here. Yeah, hang on with 2 HP. He goes for the overheat. But now I'll just be able to Earthquake. So, I went for that play knowing that I would be able to hang off from double edge. But that was still a really close one, obviously, since I could have just double edged Magmar. But if Magmar did go for the triple protect and got it, then Roxas would actually just connect and I would lose the game. So unless Magmar has some crazy priority attack right now, should be able to seal up the game here with an Earthquake. Wow, what a crazy game though. Magmar goes for the protect. So Overheat, protect, and Will-O-Wisp, presumably the last one being Follow Me. Yeah, he's just gonna protect there, and that should be game. Salamence gets the Earthquake off. What a crazy game here. So I guess that actually technically could be considered a VGC 2015 match because Magmar never actually went for a Follow Me, but a really, really, really great game there. That was super fun. You know, Magmar being able to spread Will-O-Wisp everywhere was just kind of annoying to deal with in the beginning, and then it carrying Overheat as an offensive move meant that Ferrothorn wasn't able to have as much, you know, offensive presence. Normally, Ferrothorn can just come in and just, you know, wall the rest of the team there. But I think the biggest thing was me being able to pick up the knockout onto Kangaskhan, and that switching it immediately. Super, super surprised that my opponent didn't switch out the Landorus out, but, you know, perhaps fearing too much free damage that I would get on my end as a result. So, pick up a win there. We're going to look for our next game in today's episode. And that one, I mean, literally came down to 2 HP, but I was ahead, and at least as long as nothing crazy went wrong there, I mean, I don't think there was much my opponent could have done. It was basically going for the 100% victory since I knew that Magmar had to either Follow Me or protect, presume that it does have Follow Me. So, gonna find a 16-17 rated opponent from Japan for our next game of today's episode. This time, my opponent's rocking actually a really scary looking team of Politoed, Swampert, Hydreigon, Aegislash, Togekiss, and Superior. So, Superior and Togekiss, two of the more unique choices here. Politoed and Swampert is an archetype that has seen more usage recently to counter the popular Cresselia, Heatran, Amoonguss, Landorus, Kangaskhan combo. Pair that up with something that can beat Amoonguss and then you're set. So definitely scary combination for my opponent there. I could potentially stop that by setting up Trick Room, and Ferrothorn here definitely really important in this match. Gonna want to avoid either getting flinched by Togekiss from Air Slash, potential surprise hidden power Fire from the Superior, and Fire type attack from Hydreigon. But Ferrothorn definitely super, super important and integral, I would say, in this matchup. So, in terms of leads, I actually really like Salamence Sylveon. The question here is, do I want to set up Trick Room? Because my opponent has Hydreigon and Aegislash, and neither of those Pokemon Gothitelle really likes dealing with at all. So I'm actually just going to go with Swampert and Ferrothorn as my last one, I think. And my ways of making this one is just nuts. I mean, this might be a mistake, but I figure my opponent seeing Gothitelle in Team Preview will be scared enough to bring both Hydreigon and Aegislash, and if that's the case, then I have a fair amount of counters above this Pokemon. So that's always the most difficult thing about a best of one play. But it looks like we just see the Politoed Swampert lead. Politoed Superior lead against my Salamence Sylveon lead. So Politoed sets up the Drizzle there, means that it is Choice Scarf. And that's kind of problematic. Because we can just see an Ice Beam into Salamence and a Leaf Storm into Sylveon. So I definitely should switch on into Ferrothorn here. And I'm actually just going to Hyper Voice immediately. The reason why I'm Hyper Voicing here is because then I'll be able to, well, I was going to say, KO the Superior afterwards, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. I wonder if my opponent's going to make the prediction here, expecting me to switch out and go for a Scald onto Sylveon, or a Hydro Pump. Nope, goes for the Ice Beam. Okay. So I'm very okay with that. Since, as long as I don't get frozen, which obviously is the case here. So, I mean, that's a lot of free damage for me here, and any damage against Politoed is always good, especially when it has Choice Scarf. So, Politoed here presumably will be switching out. Let's see, we're probably going to see a Flash Cannon go into Sylveon. The question here is, who does Politoed switch out into? I'm going to just go for the Gyro Ball, and I'm actually just going to Hyper Voice here, I think. Because if I could pick up the knockout onto Superior, that would put me up a lot. Since Politoed here, in my eyes, is definitely switching out. I mean, you can continue going for an Ice Beam, but you're not going to get much mileage out of it. Oh, wow, he does stay in, though. Nice read. So just targets down Ferrothorn there. Get another Hyper Voice. Let's see what Aegislash goes for here. Probably a Flash Cannon, but maybe doubling up onto the Ferrothorn. That certainly could be a possible play. Oh, wow, Iron Head. It actually picks up the knockout. That's why you use Iron Head, because Flash Cannon I would have been able to survive that. That was a really good play from my opponent. So Gyro Ball here picks up the knockout onto Politoed, but the Iron Head means that I lose Sylveon much earlier than I would have preferred to. So that makes this match a lot scarier. Presumably mixed Aegislash here from my opponent. Definitely don't want to switch out Swampert right now. I'm going to bring out Mens in case my opponent brings out that Superior. Presumably the last one is going to be Mega Swampert from my opponent's end. So that was a really great turn for my opponent. Yep, looks like Swampert's coming in here right now. Oh, sorry, Superior. I always mix up the first characters there. I don't know Japanese, but I typically memorize the Japanese Pokemon names since I play them a fair amount. Fortunately, the Intimidate here doesn't actually, provide any helpful boosts against Superior. And I wonder if it carries Hidden Power Ice. I really do. If he has HP Ice, I might just... So I might have to play this safe, but then he could Leaf Storm Ferrothorn, and then if he has Dragon Pulse, he can win too. Decisions. I think I'm going to... But you know that Ferrothorn's a bigger threat to your team, especially if your last Pokemon's Mega Swampert. Leaf Storm push Shadow. I could double protect here, actually. Actually, yeah, that should be the best play. Waste the turn of Rain. Increase my speed of Salamence. See what he goes for. Basically, right now, I need to figure out what Superior is carrying, since Dragon Pulse is certainly a viable move. And I also want to see whether Aegislash King Shield or not. It actually does go for the King Shield. Okay. So I could have Gyro Balled there with Ferrothorn, but I was fearing obviously the double. So I guess I could have Earthquake, but if it has Hidden Power Ice, then obviously that wouldn't have worked out. So let's see what Superior is carrying right now. He just goes for the Leaf Storm on a Ferrothorn, but that doesn't tell me whether he has HP Ice, Dragon Pulse, or whatnot. Which is a little bit frustrating for me. Because if he doesn't, then I obviously can just double edge into that slot right now. I'm gonna Leech Seed. Yeah, I could have played that better, I think. I played it safe, but I didn't think the long term, because now I'm not sure what I do. Like, he can just protect Superior, though he doesn't know that I'm adamant. He might think that I'm faster, which is kind of important. So I guess I'll just Leech Seed. Double Edge. In case he doesn't protect. What? Is he expecting Hyper Voice? Wow. Wow. And also a Ferrothorn. I should have Gyro Balled though, because he might have Focus Sash. Let's see. No Focus Sash. That was a pretty big choke, I would say, but it's hard to say without knowing Superior's full moveset. So Superior goes down, Ferrothorn gets the Leech Seed, and that just might be game. We'll see. But I'm sure my opponent was expecting a Hyper Voice, obviously going for the Wide Guard, and then trying to pick up a special attack boost, so maybe potentially knock out Salamence, but I'm really not sure what just happened there. And it's really hard to say whether my opponent messed up or not, because it depends on what moveset the Aegislash and the Superior carries. That is going to be Mega Pert for my opponent's last Pokemon. Now here's actually something important to note. Swampert obviously doesn't get the speed boost immediately, it has to Mega Evolve. And that's kind of one of the frustrating things about running Mega Swampert. This is something that I actually messed up when playing against it previously. So I could just go for an attack into that slot, or I could... my point is right now Salamence is faster than it, so I don't have to worry about it outspeeding me. Let's see. So Ferrothorn kind of just beats it outright, especially with the Swampert as my last one. So you could also just protect Earthquake, but I don't know if the Aegislash on my opponent's end has weakness policy. I guess I'll protect Ferrothorn here. And just double edge. Actually, I'll just Earthquake here onto Aegislash. Oh, my opponent decides to forfeit there. I guess the last turn was just too much for her to deal with there, since that was super frustrating, I guess, losing your Superior for relatively nothing, and then Aegislash going for somewhat of a useless Wide Guard. So, pretty quick episode for you guys today, but kind of nice to end on a note where we finished the World's team with 2 more wins against 2 pretty fun teams there. I mean, obviously that first one with the Magmar, pretty interesting. The second one, a Rain team with Superior, but unfortunately didn't get to see too much. My opponent maybe overpredicted or whatnot. I was able to fully capitalize off that and then a forfeit there at the end. So, would have liked to see that last game at least go for a bit longer to see what my opponent was carrying and maybe mount a comeback. I don't think they were in a position where they had no possible way to come back in the match. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. It's really good to be back. Thank you guys for supporting the videos, and like I said, I will do my best from now on out to give you guys the daily content that you guys deserve. Anyway, check out the team analysis for this Worlds team Monday afternoon, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.